in order to look at inverse functions algebraically, we must, actually this is the way I like to do it. Here, we're going to find f negative 1. What are we looking for? We're looking for the inverse function. That's this guy right here. So this is how we would do it. I would first write this as y equals 5 minus 3x divided by 2. And then I would switch the x and the y. It's a dumb little trick, but I don't know. This just seems like the easiest way to think about it. No, not yet. We have to see if we can get y alone. If we can get y alone, meaning that we can write y as a function of x, then that means we have an inverse function. So let's see if it's possible. Multiply both sides by 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then after I multiply both sides by 2, I get 5 minus 3y. Okay, then what would I do? You'd subtract 5 from both sides. So you get 2x minus 5 equals negative 3y. And then what would you do? Divide by negative 3. And then you would have y all alone. So what is my inverse function? It is negative 2x minus 5 over 3. Now we have a neat thing we can do to check to see if these are actually inverse functions. So if you're ever asked to check to see if two functions are inverse functions, this is what you do. Do you guys remember doing this? F of f inverse of x? No? Yeah. This is the same as saying f with f inverse plugged into it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take this function and we're going to plug it into this function. So that this big old thing is going to go into this itty bitty x right there. So let's do that. Let's write it out. So we have 5 minus 3 times x. And I'm going to use big old parentheses for that. And then divided by 2. So I just wrote this guy right here. I just wrote what f is. And now I'm going to plug in f inverse. If I plug in f inverse, it looks like this. Negative 2x. All right, let's do a different color. Let's do purple. Negative 2x minus 5 divided by 3.
Oh, no.
You guys see what I'm doing? I'm plugging a function inside of a function. So this is now this is neat because if they're actually inverses, everything's going to cancel out except for the x. So this is a negative 3. Let's multiply this negative 3 to this fraction. What are we going to get? I put that over 1. Won't these negative 3s, that negative and this 3, cancel out? Yes, sir. So we get 5 plus, and then now we have 2x minus 5. And I don't have to keep these parentheses. I'm going to get rid of them. And now what happens to those 5s? Those 5s add together and cancel out. And then we have 2x divided by 2. What do you get? X. If you get x, that means that f and f inverse are actually inverses of each other. Yep. So if you get an x at the end, that's what tells you that these functions are inverses. Now let's do the next one.